Okay, so we are live. All right. Good night, everyone. Right. I just want to welcome you back to another episode of a talk with DrFXJA, Young but Conscious. It is the program where the initiative is geared toward empowering the young people and the nation. Tonight we have two young and conscious, ambitious young men, and they are here to inspire you. Yes, you. Right? So, all right, in the comment section, we have persons here joining in. I just want to welcome everyone, right, that is joining in so far. Right? We have Zeco Brown and we have Rajae Danvers to share with us in regards to their journey, right? Their journey towards success and how, as a young person, right, we can also be successful. Now, I want to start off by introducing Zico Brown. Zico is a past student of Northern Caribbean University, where he completed a bachelor's degree in management studies with an emphasis on marketing. And he is currently completing his master's in management studies. He is the past sales manager at KLAS Radio FM 89, where he spent 3 years, and he is presently in charge of recruitment in the southwest region of the Heart Trust NTA. He also has a certification in public speaking, events planning, and protocol and supervisory management, and he believes that all human beings should be provided with equal opportunity. Welcome once again, my brother Zico Brown. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to be on the program. Good to be on the program.
Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. We
Yeah.
now want to introduce Rajae Danvers. Rajae Danvers is a youth leader from Kingston, Jamaica, who has done extensive work in youth development, youth leadership, and youth advocacy in Jamaica and across the Caribbean. His interest in leadership started at the primary level at Maxfield Park Primary School. He then moved on to Calabar High School, where he served up through the ranks from captain to head student.
Yeah.
He is a practicing Seventh-day Adventist as well as a youth leader in the church. Rajae now serves as youth MP for East Central St. Andrew and was a part of the few who made submissions to the parliament at its recent youth parliament sitting. His focus was on the ever trending topic of youth violence prevention. After the parliament, he was able to sit with the prime minister, members of the government, and the opposition alike. Rajae has found love in communication, right? Where he has the passion for marketing, public relations, and politics. Welcome, welcome, Bobby Hung TV. In tandem with his passion in academia, he studies communication studies with a minor in political science and law. He is a final year student. He has earned a number of certificates and diplomas in human capital strategy, youth development and training, digital media marketing, and social media advertising, just to name a few. He is currently a communications strategist in the office of the leader of the opposition and the youngest member of staff. In his capacity, he makes recommendations by using key analytical indicators to inform communication strategy with key focus in digital media. specifically social media. He is passionate about young people, especially about our young boys. He believes that equipping the youths of today secures a positive future of tomorrow. He believes in the power of human capacity, and he believes that Jamaica can move out of developmental wilderness into the marvelous light of tremendous growth,
Well,
progress, and prosperity.
mm.
Rajae Danvers, welcome. Welcome, my brother. Oh my, you have such a long credentials. How are you doing tonight, Rajae?
Joining you on your show, young but conscious. Privileged to be here with you. I'm like Zeco. Both of us, I reckon that study at the same
Yeah.
place. So that's pretty cool. Next time, just be the first paragraph. I was, I started to hear the crickets. You know,
No, man, you're good for the information, man.
Definitely, my bro.
very good.
It is amazing. When you have such, you have a lot of qualifications. And it is definitely something that we have to big you up for. It's nothing to hide. If you have it, you have it. And it's
Customer.
good to let the world know what you have, my brother, embracing your greatness. Now, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, right, as usual, right, with our show, you know that once you are watching, right, and you are paying attention, when it comes on to asking questions, right, you need to ensure that you are paying attention. Okay, hello everyone. Andrew Coke, Shernet Rich, Bobby Hung TV. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Miguel Lewis. Welcome everyone in the comment section. Everyone who is watching, right? All my Philippine friends, Jamaicans, persons from London, right? Persons from America. Welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, we are going to be giving away $500 in call credit, $500 in digital call credit for each question that we ask that is answered. So you need to ensure that you are paying attention, right? Because when I ask the question, you have to be able to provide the answer in order for you to win the $500 in digital call credit. Now, we're going to just dive right into the interview section, right, where we are going to begin our interview with Zico Brown. Right. So, Zico, I just want to welcome you once again.
Yeah.
Right. And, just, you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us with this initiative. Right. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Now, as the viewers can see on the screen, right, we're doing also a slideshow with our guests here. So you can actually see their lives as they are answering their questions in regards to their interview. Now, Zico, I just want to ask you, right? Um, Growing up as a young man, right? I know you in regards to well, I know you now, right? I know
Yeah.
you as the Zico now.
Yeah.
I don't know you. I didn't know the Zico before,
Yeah.
right? I know you as a Zico now, but I never knew you before,
Yeah.
right? Could you shed some light in regards to your upbringing, your growing up? What was it like for you growing up as a young man?
So I grew up as a Seventh-day Adventist, like Mr. Danvers. I'm from Manchester. I grew up in a community known as Mike Town. You know, I'm a student. Went to the Mandeville Primary and Junior High. Went on to Manchester High School. I considered myself to be an average student.
Oh,
Wasn't
Manchester
there.
High. Okay.
Yes, man, I went Manchester High School, but as I said, I considered myself to be an average student, not the brightest of the pack. But my mother, she's a teacher, and my mother is one of my biggest influences. So while I was in high school, there were times when I probably slipped up a little bit, did some things that I was not supposed to. But my mother would have been one of those persons who would motivate me and keep me on track. My father died when I was 9 years old. And the funny story is when my father died, that is the time we became a Seventh-day Adventist. So there's a whole lot of things that happened while I was growing up. I never really had a father figure per se. There are a couple of persons that I would have met while growing up that gave me some motivation and felt like a father figure. But when you don't have a father, you just don't have a father. And it affects a child in many ways. But with a mother like mine, one who prayed earnestly, consistently, and continuously, that was one of my key methods to survive, and one of the key things why I'm the person who I am now.
Thank you so much, Zico. Zico, my condolences to you, right?
Yeah.
You losing your father. In regards to you losing your father, Zico, right? And you have a first-hand experience in regards to this, right? For those young men who they have lost their dad, and somehow they have maybe lost their way, right? Maybe wandering into the world of obscurity, right? What would be your advice to those persons, right? As a young man who had experienced, right, losing their dad, the father figure, right, the man of the house, right? But still, you kept on the right path, because you are here today, right? What would you advise the young persons out there, right, on in regards to a situation like this, right? How can they remain focused? How can they still remain on the right path?
Well, Mr. Thomas, the first thing I'd like to say to a young person that has been through what I've been through is that you have to stay focused. You have to stay focused. You have to set goals. You have to think about the situation as your father is gone, but you want to become a father one day. You want to give back to society. You want to be able to help someone else. So even though I lost my father, I think about other persons who have lost their fathers too, and some are not as strong as me. So I think of myself as somebody being strong for everybody. And if Zico could make it, then you can make it. So I encourage young persons who don't have both parents around that, hey, it's not the end of the world. You can still be strong. A matter of fact, that is your testimony. That is how you are going to lead somebody to a higher level of thinking. And sometimes when persons lose their parents or lose one of their parents, they tend to what we like to call slack off in society, and they feel as if, boy, my father, my mother is gone, and nobody cares about me, and nobody this. Well, I'm here to tell you that you need to man up. You need to man up. Be strong. Find something. For me, I use God. Because my father is gone, so I use my heavenly father to maintain me. I don't know if you're a Christian, but you need to find something to maintain that state that will help you to rise above the challenges. I know the challenges are great. I know it is extremely tough. I know when you see your brethren go out with his mother or him go out with his father, and you don't have a father, you don't have a mother. I know that feels. I know it feels to sit down and watch my friends' father teaching them something or carrying them out for their birthday, and I don't have a father to carry me out. I have experienced all of that, and to be honest, I don't have a child at this point, but I always say to myself that I want a child and I want to be there as long as possible with that child and give back what I had lost. So you're not alone. That's the first thing. I cannot, and we cannot, and you cannot restore what was lost, but you can give back, and your experience can help someone else. So don't give up. Life
Thank you
continues.
so thank you so much, Zico. And this is coming from a person, ladies and gentlemen, right, who knows the ins and outs. He knows the rough. He knows what it feels like, to be alone. But yet still he held on. He held on to hope, and he fought his way through. And this is motivation for everyone, right? It doesn't matter the predicament in your life, right?
Yeah.
If you think that your life may be capsizing, right? Listen, it is not the end, right? It
Mr.
is
Thomas,
not the end. Yes, go ahead,
yes, man, I
Zico.
want to add. I think I just need to speak to this. One of the things I think that makes a lot of persons discouraged is when you hear persons make certain statements like, you don't have nobody. That the boy then and a daddy must turn some cruff. He might turn cruff. That the boy then not go nowhere. And I've been through all of that. And I just wanted somebody to know that I, Zeco Ziggy Brown, I have been through all of that. I've been called names. And multiple times people tell me, say, me good for nothing. Remember at one age when somebody said, all him good for if he go yum. Somebody make
Oh
a
my
statement. I've gotten it all. And guess what? I'm still here. I'm still here. And many of those persons have to say, sir, to this young man. And that is any ego or me trying to say anything, but I've seen it. I've seen persons that put me down live to come in front of me for job interviews. And I'll stop right
oh
there.
my God.
You
Oh
remember
Jesus.
what I just said to you a
Wow.
while. I've lived to see
Wow.
it. So be careful, one, persons, of what you said to these children, because when you don't care, God cares. I want you to remember that you're not alone. Stay motivated. You don't have your father. Stay motivated. Stay focused. Get ambitious. Be like Mr. Danvers. Star up the thing. And, life will just
Yes.
make a way for you. Mr. Danvers not feel no
Oh
way.
my
You know he thinks that.
So that was good, man. As who come to him. I'll be on him
Yeah.
shortly.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, Zico, I really admire your passion, your zeal, and your positivity, your
Yeah.
positiveness.
Yeah.
I really admire that about you,
Yeah.
right? And every time you see Zico, most times you see Zico. If Zico not in a bad mood or whatever, but most times when you see Zico, he always has a smile on his face.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's something about him as well, right? His countenance, it always radiates, a form of light, and he's doing well. And I'm proud of you, Zico, and
Yeah.
I respect you, for you coming thus far. Zico, I just want to speak about you attending university, right? Because you left primary school, and you went through your rough patch, right, with
Yeah.
your experience with losing your dad and stuff, but when it came on to university, right, what was that experience for you, right? Was it all glitter and gold?
No.
Did you have the school fee? Did you have the lunch money? What was university for you, Zico? What was it like for you?
University was a rough road, Mr. Thomas. Rough, rough, rough. First of all, when I started NCU, I was overseas for like 5 months. The truth is, I didn't even
Wow.
want to be here. I didn't want to go to school. I was one of those young persons. I was into music, into rapping. I did a commercial overseas. I did a one interview, and I felt as if, boy, that was the way for me. And if you know me long enough, you know I'm a music person. So when I went to NCU and I had to deal with academics, and I have to go back into this homework thing on school thing and all of this, I said, no, this is not for me. And I can tell you that my first 2 semesters were the worst. I can't even mention what my
Oh.
GPA was. I can't even talk about that right now. And let
Wow.
me tell you that this is one of the reasons why I love my job, because I get the opportunity to talk to young people frequently and consistently. Let me tell you something. If I could make it through university, anybody,
Anybody?
listen, anybody, once you avail yourself and you put the necessary things in place and you become organized and organize your thoughts and your focus, I say you can make it. Let me tell you, after that first semester, boy, NCU sent me a letter and said, hey, you need to improve, Mr. Brown. The Zico, you cannot continue like this. And I wanted to go back overseas immediately. Immediately, me just want to leave because
Wow.
embarrassed, I can't deal with these things, but I just want to leave. And my mother had paid, and I failed a couple of the courses. And I think about the money my mother spend, and I said, oh boy, I can't mess up my mother thing. I'm in a focus. Anyhow, I got a job at the library. Boy, when I went to the library, my crowd changed. The persons I used to spend a lot of time with changed. I met some new persons like O'Shane, Rankin, Dwayne, Palmer, just to name a few persons. I met those persons. And Mr. Sullivan, big up yourself, Richard, Michael Forsyth, all of those people. I met those persons and they had a different type of focus. And they were actually interested in finishing university, unlike some of my friends. So they were actually interested in finishing, and I would what you call so-called lick heads with them. And we started to converse, started to get more involved in spiritual things. A lot of persons don't know that I started out preaching. A lot of preaching I started to take up, started to turn my life around. And from there, picked up lecturers like Miss Buckley. Miss Buckley played a very important role in my development, crucial. She's one of the main persons why I am who I am today. Forever, I will forever respect Miss Buckley. That lady took me up. She never looked. For example, you have some lecturers, them say you dress a certain way, you walk a certain,
Yeah,
they don't know the situation, and them start look down for you. Miss Buckley never look down.
Big up Miss Buckley.
You got Miss
Wherever
Buckley.
you are, big up Miss
Yeah, man.
Buckley.
Miss Buckley start something in me, and that helped to propel me. By the time you look third year, by the time third year, we did. I was a part of the debating team. You hear me say Zeco we come in, we NCU letter say, hey. By the third year, I was in the debating club, and I can tell you, I debated in we had some preliminary matches, and I got best speaker in all my preliminary matches. And in the finals, I got best speaker for BASO, that is the business department that I was a part of. I got best speaker for our team, and we also won. We also won
What?
the debating trophy, and we brought it back to the business department. The business department had not seen it in years. I became a student mentor. I was a part of BASO. I was one of the founding members of the marketing club. We started it off. I was a student leader. There are so many things I got involved in. On graduation day, I carried the gun for long. I led out the entire business department on graduation day. This is the young man that them.
This is the young man.
Them send a letter. I say, when a sure we're gonna cheat you if you not do something. Same young man. And so listen, Mr. Danvers, may I tell you this? If me can't go through university, I don't care if you used to be a gunman. Listen, I don't care if you used to be a gunman. I don't care if you sit down on corner every day and rub your hand middle. I don't care if your father say you worthless, if your mother say you worthless, if your community say you can't go nowhere. Once you have a change of mind, it is opportunity time. So you have to just get it right, move forward, and great things can happen. If me make it, if Ziggy Brown make it, Lord, you know what I'm saying. If me make it, let's say anybody can do it.
Oh my God. That is so inspiring, Zico. And it's like something that happens frequently, right? Where persons they come into a particular institution, right? And excuse me, and sometimes they don't have it, or they might not be as privileged as other students. And we do have persons, right, even lecturers, principal, we do have these individuals, that might look down on these persons, and might not even give them a chance, and Zico, and your story, right? You start in university, right? And you never even business about the book thing, right?
No.
And you end up find yourself do public speaking,
Man,
find yourself a preach,
Mr. Thompson,
right? Y-
I never spoke. I've never. Let me tell you, if I go before one audience was the scariest thing. I know people hear that and say, "Oh, Zico, that's a talk about things through the one little programs and you want people feel." I say, me never, me go before people. That sound like a joke. I don't, and that's what I'm telling you. So when you change your mind, you say, "I change your mind," it changes everything. When you
Oh
change
my
your mind,
God.
you start to see some skills, some abilities start to develop that you don't even know where they're coming from. And you had them all along, but your mindset was wrong. So a lot of persons out there say they can't do this and they can't do that. It's because the mindset, the mind is in the wrong place. So if you transform your mind, it is opportunity time.
I like that. If you transform the mind, it is opportunity time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zico Brown for you, right? If you transform your mind, it is opportunity time. Zico, with you leaving university, right, with all these accomplishments, right? And I know many persons would be proud of you. Even your mom. Everyone must be proud of Zico, and knowing the struggles and the hardship that you had to endure. Your friends, your family, they must be proud of you, right? and
Yes,
and after
sir.
graduating, Zico, right, you even transitioned, right, into working with heart. Tell us a bit about that experience for you, Zico, and tell us a bit about what you're doing here with heart trust NTA, and if there's anything that's going on with there that you can help the young people to know about, right, about heart, then you can go ahead and share it as well.
All right. Before we get to Heart, because Heart was not the first company I work with, but it's the most popular. The most persons know me for Heart Trust, and based on my job there, I have had the opportunity to speak with a lot of persons. I've been around the island, specifically in Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Elizabeth. So a lot of persons know me from Heart. However, when I started out, I worked 6 months at a particular company. I can't call the name, but 6 months at a particular company, and I never get $1. I only got
Wow.
several $100 credit. That's very important to mention. And most people say,
What?
boy, what is some money I walk up and down in a suit every day through man. And I go on and them know me I'm struggling now. When I started to working, I
Whoa.
had to be calling my mother sometimes to give me taxi fare.
Whoa.
I'm
Seven
not
hundred
doing no
dollars
business.
credit? Whoa.
$700 credit, 6 months. But what happened was when I left
Whoa.
Northern Caribbean University, I knew that I didn't have any work experience because I'm one of those persons who transitioned from high school to university. I had a 2 year break, and then I came in at 18. Finished high school a little early. I finished when I was 16, and I was young and confused, typical 16-year-old. And I
Yes.
just never really make up my mind. And so I was just out there until I did that. So I didn't get any work time. I never worked in my life when I left NCU. And so that was a challenge. And I encourage persons now to come over to the Heart NSTA Trust, and get on one of our work programs because that is kind of necessary. You need that experience. I lacked that. So I had to do 6 months, not even $1 except the credit. After that, I started working at another small company, and that was another headache. I think the lady would give me something like $10,000 for the month. And after about four
Whoa.
or 5 months, the lady started telling me, say, it
Whoa.
more sell bleach. And
What? What, Tico? You must
I
be
never looked
joking,
at it as
brother.
disrespect.
What?
I probably she did it. As I said, I never looked at it as disrespect. Probably she
Wow.
was just trying to help me out, because it was a new business and she was developing. But that couldn't work either. That church sister that assisted me, and I was teaching a little bit at an institution that offered NVQJ certification, similar certification to what the Heart NSTA offers. And so I taught there for some time. The money just wasn't working out, and I said I got a little job at a loan company. That was even there was some issues there also, and I finally just stopped and I went overseas for about 4 months. and came back to Jamaica. I came back to Jamaica, boy, me come back with one like 100,000. And all me think about when this 100,000 finish, how me I go manage?
Oh
And I
my
remember
God.
just sending out applications, being in my bed every day. That's exactly what would happen. Send out application in my bed. And I remember NCU called me and said that they know of a marketing manager position in Kingston at KLAS. I said, send in my application. Let me tell you, I know every resume style. I
Wow.
turn it every corner. I start write my name with different font sizes and start change up because I try everything. I start print my resume for a
Yes.
special paper
Mercy.
because my resume out. I was giving
Wow.
them everything, and so I sent the application to NCU. They sent it off to KLS. Let me tell you now about that interview. And I hope my boss from KLS hear this interview, because he's gonna find it funny. You see, the day before that interview, I got a dictionary and I look for every big word, every sophisticated words to make sophisticated sentences to impress. Let me tell you, I was over prepared. I was there so early, and I went in and I did my first interview. They were impressed. Did a second interview with the chairman of the company, and he found it hard to decide between me and the gentleman there who to choose. And he eventually just hired both of us and split sales. And gave yes, same like I will tell you. And I can tell you, KLAS at the time, KLAS ESPN, it's now back to KLAS powered by ESPN. But that is where I got my start. Chairman there, he developed the young boy. He used to call me, boy, I come from country every morning. I'm used to the bus stop, I never have no car. First, me I go up and I know nothing about town. I mean, ask most of the time, end up in a taxi when I realize in a normal taxi, if I pay too much money, I went through the whole, you know? And I left KLS, and they can tell you this, on top of my game. Moved sales drastically, motivated the sales team, and all of what I did gave me enough, gave me a big enough reputation, that
Wow.
made me qualified to be a part of the wonderful, the great Heart NSA team, which I'm so proud to be a part of.
Oh my
And there are
God.
so many things happening at the Heart NSTA. And you notice I'm not saying Heart NTA, I'm saying Heart NSTA because
NST.
we recently merged with the Jamaican Foundation of Lifelong Learning, the National Youth Service, and the Apprenticeship Board to form a bigger, a grand entity that we now refer to as Heart National Service Training Agency Trust. So that is the new name. And I can tell you there's a lot of things going on at the Heart NSTA. Heart is bigger and better and ready to cater to any need. If you have employment problem, you can't get no work, come over to the Heart NSTA Trust. If you're an employer and you need employees, come over to the Heart NSTA. If you want training, come over. We're training over 200 areas. We have 4 boarding institutions. Boarding is absolutely free, fully subsidized by the
Wow.
government of Jamaica through the Heart NSTA Trust. The training is also free. You only pay a registration fee of 3 to 3,005 depending on the institution for level 2 courses, and 3 to 3,005 depending on the institution for level 3 courses. And I can take over this whole thing and talk about the Heart NSTA Trust. You do not. So we have a big man, Mr. Danvers, we have to talk to. Just
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you so much, Zico,
big up.
for sharing such powerful information. Ladies and gentlemen, right? If you want to know more about Heart, right, and their new program and their new initiative, right, please reach out to Zico Brown, the man himself, right? He is the one to talk to. If you want to know, right, you want to get more information in regards to what is currently happening at Heart.
Yeah.
Zico,
Yeah.
while I was doing your introduction, right, you said that you believe that all human beings should be provided with equal opportunity.
Yes.
Do you want to expound on that, and how did you come up with that statement, right? That mantra that you live by. You believe that all human beings should be provided with equal opportunity.
Well, for me personally, throughout my childhood and probably my teens, I used to feel sometimes that I wasn't offered certain opportunities, probably because of the fact that I didn't have a father, because of the fact that probably my mother was a educator, and some persons feel like I'm not supposed to get that or I'm not supposed to get this because his mother can provide it, and she really couldn't. I tell persons all the time that when I was going through Northern Caribbean University, people don't believe this, my mother took so many loans, because it's share loan, she have to build house, she have to try, and we used to survive off of $18,000 every month.
Oh,
To this day, I don't know how that used to work out. Remember, there are many days I never have $1 at NCU. When I say not $1, not $1, and his friends around me and family members who were going at the same time that used to assist and support me to go through, but we never have any. And persons have different perception of you, and people just see and they just don't like you for no reason. I don't know if that ever happened to you. And
yeah.
but another thing that gave me that type of mentality, I remember I used to travel a lot. And I remember especially when I was in high school, and I remember one time I was in Florida. I was at the West Oaks Mall. I think that mall is shut down now. I know they were shutting it down, but I was at the mall, and some persons used to come around and they look at you funny. And when you're shopping, you have persons following you, trying to look what you have in your bag. And I just felt out of place while others could come and shop comfortably. And I realized that this whole thing is not balanced. And there are so many young persons out there right now that need training, and it's only a certain type of individual that is accessing that training. Persons who have more resources and the persons who actually need the training can't get it because of where they are. So I realize if you're brown, you're probably persons deal with you better. And if you have a darker complexion like myself, persons kind of stand off. You look like a criminal. They have all these stereotypes that they'll bring up. And I realize that the world is just not level.
Oh my gosh. Donkey said they
Yes,
were living, Zico.
it just don't level. And I have made it a point of duty that in my own actions and personal operations and the way in which I deal with people, I am going to showcase what it means to distribute equality to each and every single individual, not just Jamaican, but every individual that communicates or makes contact with Zeco Ziggy Brown.
Thank you so much, Zico. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Zico Brown. For those persons who are watching, right? I really hope that you're inspired. Okay, in the comment section we have Fihen's channel, Bobby Hong TV, Team Happy. Shout out to everyone who is actually in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning in, right? And do bear in mind that we will be giving away $500 in call credit, right? So you better be listening, right? Because when we ask the questions, right, you need to be able to answer, right? Rajae, I'm not sure what's happening here. I'm
Man,
not
he's here, man.
seeing.
He's on.
Okay, okay, Rajay. Right. Now we're going to be moving into right the portion right where we're going to be interviewing Rajay Danvers. Right. After which we're going to be asking the questions to give away the phone cards, and then after we're going to be doing a little discussion and then wrap things up. Okay. Now, Rajay. welcome, 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 my brother. Right? It is indeed good to have you, Rajae. And Rajae, he also has a very powerful story as well. And I really admire these gentlemen who are actually sitting on the panel tonight, right? And I want you to just listen carefully, because at the end of this, I know that you are definitely going to be, you're not going to leave this live stream the same way you came. Rajay Danvers, welcome, my brother. Welcome. Hold on. Rajay, are you hearing me? Okay, hold on.
I believe you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Eh? Greetings.
All right.
Thank you
Welcome.
so very much for
Welcome.
having me. I have to give a big shout out to the National Service Training
Yeah, big up.
Agency, Trust.
Yeah,
I'll get
yeah,
it
yeah.
right. And you're a true marketer because everybody know that not even the story so much than the advert for heart NSTA Trust. Makes me want
Yeah.
to sign up, and even more so makes me want to
Yeah.
encourage people to rally around and to actually go there.
Yeah, man.
Very good story,
Big up, bro.
Zika. I was inspired to tell the truth. It's the as you told your story. I mean, same story, different
Yeah.
in a different way.
Yeah.
So it's really inspiring, and to know that we are in the same age group
Yeah.
or have a similar story,
Mm.
very interesting. So I had to put in that bit. Host, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Rajay. Rajay, I just want to start off with your portion, right? Who is Rajay Danvers, right? Who is Rajay Danvers? And even though we know so much about Rajay in regards to his accomplishments, his qualifications, and so forth, but for the viewers who do not know Rajay, and you'd want them to understand the Rajay before now, right? Where is Rajay coming from? Who is Rajay? Who was Rajay growing up as a young man?
I don't know which one to answer first, but the Rajae was an 11 months old baby that almost died in a fire in Seaview Gardens when his grandmother was on a bed. It's like a one room complex, and right beside it was engulfed, and she never felt it. She never felt the fire. When she came out, and when they grabbed her out, she said, "Where was Jay there?" And she ran straight into the burning house. Pulled me off the bed, have her arms burnt and stuff. No, it's discolored as you would imagine.
Mm.
Rajae is a young. So after that, Rajae is a young man that moved from Seaview to and it's a volatile area, popular for its inner cityness and its volatileness, and moved to Maxwell Avenue, that is equivalent to there, Wellington Road. Was at primary school, Maxwell Park Primary, a young man who understands what it means to have little and understand what it means to have much. Right? Jay is
Mm.
the person that makes things happen. I'm motivated by failure. I'm fueled by no's. I am energized by challenges, and I am overall motivated by accomplishments. So I think that's something
Mm.
who I am.
Thank you so much, Rajay. You shared a story, right, about the burning fire, right? I'm not sure if you want to go a bit deeper into that story, right? Because I was listening to your live on Instagram, and when I heard your story and stuff, it also really stood out to me. Just the fact that you could have lost your life, and where you are today, it just a show that, the the life that could have been lost, right? And the impact you're making today, right? It really stood out to me, Rajae. You growing up, Rajae, what was that experience for you, knowing that you could have lost your life in a fire?
Well, as I had shared on my life, the situation was seeing the scar, and I consistently get emotional when I think about it, because I've always seen the scar on my grandmother's hand, and I've never asked, what it's about. So it was, a few years ago. I was older, years past. Grandma, how this happened? So they never tell you. When I was and the place abandoned, I never did feel it. And as you would imagine in your mind, as in the movies, the burning place and the doorpost just fall down. It was engulfed, and she still went in, grabbed me from the bed, burned
Mm.
her arm. I heard I actually developed asthma there, because I was white at the time, 11 months old, me just born, and she could remember how dark I was from the stain of ashes. As a matter of fact, I even fell out of her hands, and cracked my skull. 11 months old.
Oh
Now,
my
what
gosh.
that said to me is that I was marked for death, but God
Mm.
said otherwise. It said
Mm.
to me that there was something there that the devil was trying to kill, but God blocked it. It said to me that something was so powerful there that he had to be destroyed by fire, but God said no. So
Mm.
that is a fueler that is inside of me. And if people know I'm energetic, when I speak, I will run, jump all over the place, and I am engulfed with so much fire, because fire wanted to kill me, and I have
Mm.
no choice
Mm.
but to be filled with fire, to fight the fire outside. And
Oh
so
Jesus.
to understand that that reality, I have no choice but to do what
Mm.
I do, because I could have been dead. I have an
Mm.
obligation to life and to the people in this life to bring fire in my own way.
Loose.
So I travel around and I speak to different groups of people across the Caribbean, across South America, to speak to people and to tell them that the lives they are living, they can live better. Because I could have been destroyed by fire. The ideology of my success, or my road to success, is rather queer, because even within poverty, in Maxwell Avenue, I was fueled with the idea. Zeco spoke of the mentality, and I think that's the most powerful thing that anybody could ever adjust to become successful. As a
Mm.
matter of fact, I agree with Zico when he says nothing can change until you change your mindset. So I was living in Maxwell Avenue, walking over the dead bodies to go in my yard, literally walking over blood
Mm.
to go in my yard, standing up distance from my gate at yellow tape, because I could go in my yard. How much time over Wellington Road? I imagined in my mind a better place. I imagined in my mind a better reality. I saw it already where I will go. And it all happened in my mind, and it was all because of my mindset. And so that is how Doc, how the story propelled, or how my story got burnt, and how the ashes sprinkled over my life for me to
Mm.
rise like a phoenix.
Wow, very, very, very powerful, Rajay, and I like the way you put it, right? You use your experience from being in the flame, right, to spread flame, to spread fire, right, to ignite your journey, right? And for many persons, it might sound paradoxical, but it does make sense, and I like that. I like that, Rajay. I want to ask you, Rajay, right? You growing up as a young man, right? What was it like for you growing up in primary school, right? In the area where you were growing up, right? And what were some of the distractions or the influences that you faced, right? Growing up as a young man, what's some of the negativity that you faced, and how did you cope, right? How did you cope as a young man?
Well, you see, when I talk about my childhood life, I have to give credit to my grandmother, Dawn. Huh? Dawn is one of my biggest heroes in my life. She passed a few years ago. God bless her soul. But the strategy for success in the ghetto, when I reflect, when I reflect on the challenges that I had then and how I have overcome those challenges, was through the methodology of parenting that my grandmother actually applied at the home. Now, I noticed, so my neighbor then, I talk about him all the time, Chulop, Joel Williams. He is a doctor. I think he's in his final year in medicine, doing medicine now. So my neighbor is a doctor. Now, I could not go to certain yards. Huh? As a matter of fact, I stayed in my yard so much they call me prisoner. Because my grandmother understood that you can't mix up yourself. Because she understands that if you go out the road too much, you're going to mix up yourself with some type of people and this and that and that. And she don't want that happen at all. And so she ensured that she separated me from the distractions before I got the chance to be distracted. That's a very important thing you must understand. Now, because of that, I understood not that I'm better than people, but that I had to place some value in myself as, because I have a responsibility to my parent, Don. And my parents, my father, mother, and by extension, but Don was really the one who I thought at that time I was most accountable to, because she is who parented me the most. And so when I had challenges at school, for example, I remember when Cartel did the song, and I quote Cartel because I must give him due respect because we went to the same school, Calabar. So he's a Calabar lad. So with that great respect, I quote him. Yes. Um, did a song about what? Cake soap. And I tell you, my brother, everybody at Maxfield Park Primary School cut them mother cake soap and bring it, and we would wash our faces until we are white. I tell you, wash your face till white. I remember come home and my grandmother said, me bleaching. And I got a beating for start follow come friend. What she said? Friend Humble and Company. Earth 3, a laugh friend Humble and Company follow. I remember how in I think grade 7 at Calabar, I can't tell you this about I nearly get a piece of wussing at Calabar and I just go come step on the man class. And I say, "Mom, buy one class too." I go, I say, "We are going to class." Eh? Yeah, what? Every all pan rock you say present. And so I learned from them that I had to separate myself from some of the things that I thought was relevant to my progression. No challenges, economically, we weren't rich. I don't use the word POOR very much. I don't use any at all. Those are some of the things I adapt. I don't use BROKE. I don't say those stuff because I don't want it to manifest because there's life and it in the power of the tongue. And so, yes, I'm always rich. Or when I don't have somewhere in my pocket, just don't reach there yet. You know? Yeah, man. And I have to look to the future all the time. I tell my girlfriend, I say, Princess, it's not about knowing it's where we're going, so I have to plan for that. So the present reality is not the consistent reality. I understand that. Very, very important. And so when I look at the challenges that I faced then, they were surmountable because, again, as Zeco said, I had the mindset to overcome it. So the challenge I had in primary school, I remember, is to say, enough, and everything. Quite frankly, I never wanted to be in everything, but everything the teacher would have called me for do it. If now put it there. So me never enough by default. If devotion, if not gonna go to school, the boy them gonna call for the voter tanks. And I want to say thank you, Mr. So and so, for coming to our school today. And I was that guy. And I thought that it was, I actually hated myself at a period because the teachers would call me up all the time and my friends never liked that because my friends were getting a chance. And I think I told my grade 6 teacher, who I must give her credit, Mrs. Adamson. She changed my life dramatically and drastically. Mrs. Ruby Adamson. She said, Rajae, if other persons can do what you do, I'd ask them. Shut your mouth. That would be great if somebody asked you to do something, and from that day, that was it. And so I even know I've had, if you ask me, I'm not accomplished. I feel like I'm grateful, but I don't think that I have reached, even to come at the program. When I got the invitation, I'm like, so why don't nobody want to talk to me? Nobody. I remember when, TVJ called me all angles. I say, did I wait? What TVJ get my number from? One, two. Man, someone said to the producer, say, me, this is Rajae, I said, this is Rajae. It's me you want? They said, this is Rajae Danvers. So why would you want to ask? Why do you want to talk to me? Because I really think that, and I say, I think I am nobody because whenever I reach a goal, me just push down the goal and step on it and try to climb higher.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So when and I really cringe when I hear my bio being read. I'm like, Jesus, I genuinely said, yo, brother, don't know, man. Like, brother, just stop, no? Cause I said that just sound in truth. I say I come and read out all them things, brother. But just when we just take away if you take out and just say what I see every 5 minutes. And I'm gonna start feel away. Because but even with that, brother, even with that, we get some hype, I tell the truth. But even with that, me see better than people, Even because Mark, look power me there and say Ray. Because anywhere me reach, brother, my number one prayer all the time is the Lord lift me up so I can lift others up with me. So everywhere that I go, I try to take somebody with me. If I'm starting a business, I say, baby, come work, start. You have to start something, you can't stay right here. So, and the meaning, if I move forward, you have to move forward with me. If any of my friends, if I'm involved in this, I say to my friend, yo, brother, this is something you come here, you can get the opportunity too. So everybody has to go. Everybody has to go because I am a socialist. I am a socialist, and I believe that everybody must reach. So Zeco is the pastor and the politician. So we believe in democratic socialism. Sorry, I have to plug in my politics in it. So all must reach together. I mean, I believe in capitalism. So some people must reach and some people must poor. No, we believe in equal opportunities for everybody. And so if I reach, you must reach too. Because when you reach, you never got tea from me. Because you reach too. And so I push that idea, I push that mentality, and the higher I go, the more the Lord bless me, I bless others.
Yeah.
The more the Lord bless me, I bless others. And the more I bless others, the more the Lord bless me. And I speak of the Lord because God has been one of He is the most important and integral thing in my life to date. And I have no qualms about it. Mark, there are some days I don't do what I'm supposed to. There are some days that I neglect some of my responsibilities. But I want it to be known publicly that without God, you are nothing. Success is no success without God being the success.
That's facts. Facts. That's facts. That's facts.
Facts. Facts, my brother.
And
Facts, my brother.
and so we tend to pursue the I to be successful. But brother, whenever I have a serious planning and I can't fix things, it's the Lord who I go to in prayer. And whenever I feel that too much of me, the Lord fix that immediately. So I'll go back to this point. I want to wrap up with this point with the response because many people suffer from this, and I try to speak of it a lot. Many of the persons in high school, primary school, university who are trying to be accomplished people have come across a situation where they are called hype, enough, them call like them better than everybody, them this and them that. But let me tell you something that I have recognized. Everybody when me see one bag of badge on them pop on them clothes. Or everybody will work hard at primary school and thing. Yes, we will press surprise. Yes, we make a U-turn like a Zeco. You understand? We come in rough and then like smooth him out and thing. But there are some people consistent from the beginning where as for the first they get up in a seventh grade and get up and say, my name is Danvers, I want to be Prime Minister of Jamaica. You know, from here in the say, Jesus Christ. Hey, can't you see nothing now? I bet you never get prefect. You know? So you know that from the first day, you know, they get up from somebody, oh, them out. Oh, I want to be, I know them are try enunciate and pronunciate every T, every I, every vowel, you know. You say, what you know? Yeah, man. A position she want, man. But guess what? In my analysis, certainly, most of those people who work hard, miss nothing, Mr. Nothing, are going good today. Now, the people them, some of the people them, whenever did I focus on the fact that they say I see in the comments, and brother say in the comments, you so like a reporter. Doc, I may say, I don't hear what I'm saying, brother, you're so good, you know, man. I say, brother,
Yeah.
can come on radio and TV, and it might go on good. I know what coming on my mind. You coming on my mind. I say, what you go on like say my reporter? You know what coming on my mind? I said, me glad to me that team from there. So can we go touch BBC and CNN? You know, I go watch a TV them time. That's how my mind works. But another my mind, watch him come back on the YouTube live. Out him man in a suit. When the man is extra. When I go on so with the earpiece, when I'm for a slideshow, I'm gonna just do it. So the point that I'm making, Jamaicans and in Jamaica, we have lowered our standards so much to accept mediocrity that when greatness walks into the room, we irk at it and we regret it, vomit to it. But we congratulate the greatness when it benefits us. So in other words, when you say, well, just run and lose and in chat body, we chastise them as a country. We say what? So them could train you for talk. Could make dry, them could put not even like ear eye, look a lotion, look at go on so. When you start to win, everybody jump on the bandwagon. Yeah! You see and win. I don't believe, I reject that mentality. I think we must raise the bar. I think we must put it where we can't reach it. There's nothing wrong with raising the bar. We are too mediocre. And as a people, so if we can raise the bar, if we can reach higher, if we can think farther, if we can just aim at a greater distance, believe me, not just in our individual lives will become better, but we will have a greater country, a country to be reckoned with. $2.8 million can 2.8 million people can change the world. If we just think higher, aim farther, be greater, think stronger, and unite together with the idea that we can actually accomplish whatever we can if we change our minds and we change our hearts.
Thank you so much, Rajae, and ladies and gentlemen, right? That was indeed powerful. And I'm not sure if you were listening closely, but if you are listening to both individuals, you will realize that they keep giving the credit back to God, and that is something that is very, very important. And they are both humble, and they do remember where they are coming from, and they both see equality as something that is very, very paramount in today's society. We need persons to have the mindset, right, where we are not better than each other. We should not look down on one another, but we are all flesh and blood. We are all the same. And Rajae, I really admire your points, and I hope everyone is taking note, and I just want to ask you, Rajae, in continuation, right? With all um this happening, with you transitioning from primary school, and within your community and stuff, and having that mindset, right? When it came on to high school, were you consistent, right? Were you still consistent? And what was it like for you transitioning from high school into university? And I know normal university is a different ball game, but what was that like for you? Were you still consistent? And were there times when you were tempted to deter from your path, right? What was the university life for you?
Well, well, I spent a year, but before, but back up, moving into Calabar, if I were consistent with my ideology. I was bright, bright in primary school. I was bright for some time in high school. When I went to Calabar, and I think I went to Calabar with a 91 average. GSAT, and
Wow.
I thought it's the biggest thing. Now, when we begin to do say here, and I went into the top stream, but in my class, it's in my average that I got would have gotten in first form is the top average in other classes, and I come about ninth or tenth in my class the first time. So I said, John, no, I didn't give this because man in my class I only get 96 average. I come from primary school. As a better nobody. And so I wasn't consistent academic. As a matter of fact, as I matriculated, my ideology and education changed. As a matter of fact, you know, I think I went on to I was never ever bad. Me never ever turn off and be like a bad pick. Yeah, no, I'm never in a bad entanglement. Yes, but I I lost the motivation to come first because I always wanted to come first in primary school. I was always coming first. So I lost that thing to say come first in a class because I noted that the people that were come first in a class didn't have time for the other things. That was the excuse, but it's just that was a reality, you know? And I wanted to be involved in other things that would have been pertinent to my development. And so even when moving, so I wasn't the dunces, but I would never aim to get the top in class because I tell people that if I sit down right now and forget all of my responsibilities, I say I'm doing my schoolwork. Like I'm a procrastinator, right? I'm gonna put that out there. I'm a procrastinator with my academics. I will have an essay to write for 2 weeks and do the essay in 1 hour and get 80 yard or 90 yard and then feel like I'm the boss. Or just make some silly mistakes. I'm gonna be like, Roger, if you did this earlier, my girl always tell me, Curtis, she's always say, why don't you do it earlier? Blah, 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 blah. But I think the excitement comes when I have a little time to do it and the challenge is there too. I mean, we're different people. So I have that as a challenge. I have so my inconsistency came academically. However, I was still kind of bright. I know, I wasn't kind of bright. I just wanted to get ahead. So in grade 9, I think I did two subjects in social and English, and I got ones, I think distinctions at that time. That time distinction was a big thing. They made a big deal of it. I never thought it was a big deal. So in grade 10 I did CAPE, right? And then in grade 11 now, what I did, I think I did some other subject, but I have one heap of subjects. I think I don't even remember, but because it's really nothing to me. I think we have about 15 or 14 subjects, and I pass every single thing except one subject. I'm not going to target why I said, I'm going to up my life. I'm not going to target yet. But my pass, some like me have one heap of ones that I'm big for. Yeah, man, I'm not telling a lie. I never pass it, I never pass, and I have no qualms about it. I'm going to be the first person for transition in a life to university, come successful and never pass that one subject. You can't guess anything no one gets. So nobody that asks for a question about me, I go graduate and never get. I'm never tell people say, learn how to tell when they say I forget that. I'm tell people say never get it. One way,
Wow.
and sometimes you feel say they look on the wall if I want them and miss it. But it just Sunday there. It just a big four and for me fail. But school didn't take me, master. I'm there for links. God know. But they take me. I'm the transition, sir. And all that. But I don't value the system of education because I think it robs us as a people. When a man can be a good, you can imagine some people cannot paint like can paint or can dance, and the system say if you don't pass physics, you're done. If you don't pass English, you're done. If you don't pass maths, you're done. And I reject that. I reject it because we have robbed so many talented artists because of the system. And so my mindset changed when I got into politics and I recognized that the people who are leading the country, some of them didn't even go to university. And how they postulated and how they spoke.
And we're gonna talk about that shortly as well. But before we get into that, Rajae, what were some of your involvements in university, right? You matriculating, right? From high school, Calabar, moving into university, right? What were some of your involvements, and how do you think your involvement at Northern Caribbean University has shaped the path that you are currently on, right? How has your involvements shaped the path that you are currently on?
Well, I think each level prepares you for another level. You know, I read somewhere that it says, if you want to be a leader, you're asking for trouble. You know, and so I've done a number of things. I was vice president for Hubs. I am a resident advisor on the dorm. I ran for USM. I ran for social affairs and student services. I lost to Gibson Lacroix, good friend of mine. I'm happy that I lost. I'm grateful. That's one of the most grateful losses I've got in my life. You know,
Whoa.
I'm happy. No, I'm genuinely happy that I lost because you see, had I gotten the position, I would not be able to access something that in the future came at that time. You know, I was down and I was angry with myself, but I never knew that the prosecution was preparation.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and
Wow.
so yeah, and I think I ain't no preacher. I'm a motivational preacher. Zeke is a preacher.
Zico, you hear that, Zico? Are you
Yeah,
hearing that, Zico?
you're doing very well, man. Once you're 7 day Adventist, you have to touch it up, man.
Zeke
Like
is
the
a preacher.
prosecution. The prosecution.
The preparation. Solid, man.
Oh my
Hey, the
gosh.
Adventist pastors got them phrases locked down it up. But we motivational speakers borrow them sometimes. Come on. So
Awesome,
because
Reggie.
I was redirected, I was directed to a path that I want, that God saw fit for me. So and then to what I never appreciated was I didn't appreciate structuralism in the sense that I This is systems I don't appreciate it. So, for example, say I am the vice president of spiritual affairs at NCU. There are some things that there's an ambit that you must operate within that I don't agree with. And so I come to the point, I think in second year or third, that listen, I'm not going to, I can't manage on a form and function. Here do I have the time? Because what had happened is that I have to serve nationally. And I said to myself, Rajae, okay, NCU has 2,500 people, young people, youths, and okay, are you going to run for president to serve them, or you could go in the youth parliament and serve 10,000 young people? No, Roger, wait, I know I'm regretting my life. How do I wait? So, Roger, do you run for USM president, or do you seek a national platform to help you and actually influence policy that would help inadvertently help those 2,500 people? And so for I think for third year and fourth, I never looked for any positions. I was asked to serve formally, but I've been serving as an advisor in a sense to some people, some of my friends who would have got caught in the system, and I would have taken an active part in most of the planning and execution of most of the popular events on campus. The university would consult me, which I'm grateful for, to be invited as a student to sit on certain committees for big events, of which they would rely on my recommendations. So God has blessed me in that way. So that's how the leadership there shaped me to be who I am today.
Thank you so much, Rajay. And just to dive into right your current involvement, Rajay, I am seeing where you are currently involved heavily, right, in the youth parliament, and I must commend you, right, for taking the step, right, in carrying out the mandate of empowering the nation, right. And as you can see, you do have the right mindset, right, for what you're doing, right. And just for those persons who do not even understand your role as communication, it's communication specialist, right.
A strategist, no,
Strategist,
strategist.
strategist,
Right.
communications strategist. Could you explain that for the viewers, right? What does it mean to be the communications strategist for the youth parliament?
Well, I'm a communication strategist by profession. I'm actually a retired youth parliamentarian. If you see my grades right here. It's a program. The youth. Let me just talk about the parliament. The youth parliament program is a program put out by the Ministry of Youth and Education and Education Information. Every year, um, a select few from thousands of applications are chosen to sit in the parliament. You have to go through levels of training where you are taught about parliamentary procedures, and then the creme de la creme gets to speak in the house and to bring up your own, to influence actual policy positions for actual legislators. So it's really a mimic of what happens in reality, and so we would shadow the government of the day. Whilst I sat in Parliament, I was Minister after the Prime Minister with the portfolio of economic growth and job creation, and Deputy Leader of the House, eh? A Deputy Leader of Government Business, I beg your pardon. So I was able to bring forth my speech and my art influence policy position on as I said, the ever-trending topic of youth violence prevention in the parliament. After that, most of our speeches, most of us who got opportunity to speak, we were able to sit with the prime minister and give him some feedback and give him some recommendations of how we think the country can move forward. And of course, now I was able to have an even more intimate session with the leader of the opposition because of where I work, because of my office relations there. No, communication strategy. No, it is communication being informed by a process for a specific outcome. So in my house, for example, I would manage, in a sense, a marketing manager because he's a part of my communication strategy. Let's say the aim is for government to, let's say the aim is for government to let's say we want to have two elections in one. And as a communication strategist in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, I would say, well, Prime Minister, if you want two elections in one, we're going to have to have a public education campaign for no less than 6 months, right? And I would say, well, we're going to be using print, traditional media, and digital media. And then I will say, well, we're going to be spending X amount of money in digital media marketing. We're going to be spending X amount of money on print. This is how we're going to use radio. This is how we're going to use TV. This is how we're going to get the outcome based on what we want to achieve. So we set out objectives and then we set out an action plan. And I'm the person that monitors the action plans to ensure that the outcome happens. My role now, I advise politicians based on in their communication, and that includes writing speeches for Parliament. It includes social media. It includes interviews, engagements, all the boring stuff now I'm gonna care about.
All right, Rajae Danvers. That's Rajae Danvers, communication strategist.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
He is heavily involved in the youth parliament, ladies and gentlemen. This could be your next. Let me ask you a question, Rajae. Um, who do you aspire to be? Because seeing that you are involved, right, in the political arena, is there a position that you aspire to go in the future, right?
Well, one of the things I learned is never to speak about your political ambitions.
Ah, ah, ah.
And if you want to go into politics, you should learn that. Because I told my girlfriend the other day, some months ago, that when you walk into a room, and for example, you don't hear people say, I want to be a doctor, lawyer, and stuff. And I walk into the room and I say, what do you want to become? I want to become prime minister. And then I went to a function. And them asked, and everybody want to be prime minister. Came to my girlfriend. You never know, say somebody want to be prime minister. I'm not a prime minister again. Too challenging. So in truth, because I think I could be a politician. I don't know if he will able to become prime minister. I don't know, but I'm not so caught up in the title of my genuine brother. I just want to help people, yeah, brother. Brother, me a crossover. I'm just want people for crossover, isn't it? I that me the pan right now. More people for crossover. So you think me can do if a man cross? Me a man cross. So if me have the politician here, I'm say one woman have a house, I want board house, and me can tell them MP say MP, listen, my pass house down the road now. And she want helping and MP can go there and help her and me feel good. So to me, I'm about the profiling. I mean, I don't into the profile. I mean, I like it, but I mean, me like is the actual word for help poor people. Because we have too much people living below poverty. We have too much people who not have a choice than to be hungry. We have too many people who now have no clothes by them back, no shelter. You understand? And so, me really want to make them move forward. So brother, one time I tell you, I used to use word a big word. And I mean, me used to study dictionary like Zeco. But I recognize me could communicate with people who need most. So I learn a big word, But I'm speech for parliament sometimes. But there comes a time and a place for level.
Yeah.
Come and believe in a leveling because as a strategist, I know my audience. So I know that right away. So right now, I'm not talk to the doctor. The doctor is the doctor for NCU. I'm not talk to Dr. Buckley. Or Dr. Vivian Quarry. Vivian Quarry, Zeco.
Yeah.
we twist up our words there.
What yourself in that bag? What yourself?
Every alphabet, every letter of the alphabet. But no. Me, I want to be less than that.
Mm.
I want to be less than being all fancy. My goal, as I've been blessed to advise politicians, is to see what they don't see, is to hear what they don't hear. If I direct social media for them, when a message comes in, say, like we get a lot of things saying, "Sir, I'm doing my CXC, and when I come out with this subject, I'm gonna do have the money, I'm going to university." When I see that, I can say, "Come, sir, MP, look at this. This girl has been texting you for so much time, you know, she need help."
Yes.
I get to do that. I get to make a change. So me not see where me gonna go right now, but me I focus on what me I do know. If God want bless me another way, then well so be it. But me want make a change. Me want people to live better. I feel that we can do better as a country. It irks me when people start thief the public money when corruption are gone and them are rob poor people money and people still are living on the road hungry. People still have people still clothless. It bothers me. Set public figures getting entanglements and it are proliferating in the public and they feel like no for talk about it. It bothers me when public officials feel like they're not the public servant but the other way around. So someone want to make a change and that's what it's about. Not the profile, but the positivity
Thank you.
of
Thank you
what I
so much.
do.
Thank you
Yes,
so much,
sir.
Rajae. And ladies and gentlemen, Rajae, I'm not sure if you're getting his point, the point that he's driving. Ladies and gentlemen, right? He is driving the point of humility. He is not the type that is going to boast about him speaking to members of the parliament and so forth, but he wants to be there not just for the profiling but to make a change. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to even know more about the youth parliament, you could definitely reach out to Rajae Danvers, and his Instagram handle is Rajae Danvers JA, right? And he is doing a phenomenal work, right, for the nation so far. And Rajae, do keep it up.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.
you know, uh, do keep it up, Rajae. I just want to go into a quick discussion right before we actually wrap things up. And I want to ask some questions here, right, to our viewers. In regards to Zeco Brown, remember, guys, if you get this question correct, you will be receiving $500 in Digicel call credit. Right. All right. So let me put it this way: either Digicel or Lime. Okay. Let me not isolate it to Digicel. Okay. Now the question. Hold on. Let me put this. Okay. All right. Now the question, ladies and gentlemen, this comes from Zico Brown. What high school did Zico attend? And where is Zico currently employed? It's a two-part question. If you can answer that question, you will be receiving $500 in call credit. Now, Rajae, yes, go
Okay,
ahead, Rajae.
can I answer the question? Because I was taking notes, man. I was taking notes, man. You know, I'm always taking a
All
notes
right,
right
so
here, bro.
no one on the panel can answer the question. So it's for our viewers, right? For those persons who were listening, right? It's for them to respond and get the opportunity to win something tonight, right? The question that I'll be asking about Rajae, right? I want to ask, What was Rajae's first experience as a toddler that impacted his life? What is the first experience that Rajae had as a toddler that impacted his life? And what is Rajae's position in the youth parliament? What is Rajae's current position in the youth parliament? Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a part of the winnings here, you will need to come up with the right answers. Now, in the meantime, right, for those persons who are scattered trying to find the answers, right, I'm going to be asking some questions here, and I'm going to start off with Zeco, right? And this question, Zeco, is what is your view on social media marketing? What is your view on social media marketing?
All right. Right before I get
And,
to
ho-
that question,
and
okay. Go ahead. Go
yes,
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and how can business owners take advantage of social media marketing?
All right. But right before I get to that question, Mr. Danvers, big up yourself, because I have to let you know that that was potent. And I sincerely hope that Jamaica was listening. This is a young man that has been through the fire and has used the fire to lift him to higher heights. And so we should, in all that we do, try to exemplify some of those qualities that is developed through fire. Only through fire can some qualities come. And we all go through our fires in different ways. Mr. Danvers, big up yourself. Much respect. We're going to remember that interview here for time when we finish years after now, this interview will be talked about. Very potent. I can promise you that. Big up yourself, bro. Big up. So, what is my view on social media marketing? Well, the first thing I want to do, I want to kind of change the question if that's okay. I want to say, what is my view on e-marketing? Because social
All
media
right.
marketing is just a component, a small part of the whole e-marketing, whole e-marketing thing that's going on now. And I just want to throw in COVID. COVID has sent more purses online more than anything. And if you have a business, I can tell you exactly where your customers are. Majority of them are online, at home, browsing the internet. So it's important that as a business person, you understand what e-marketing, and since you mentioned social media marketing, what it can do for your business, understand the different platforms, understand the marketing capabilities of Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And if we were to go back to e-marketing, we look at even the different platforms, even YouTube that we're using right now is a platform. You have so many ads that you can run on YouTube, so many Google ads that you can run. And so all of these things are very important when you want to reach your target audience. And I said majority of these persons are online. I want to tell you that when you look at social media marketing, it's cost effective. E-marketing is cost effective, cheaper, and you're reaching more people. It allows you to have a more intimate and in-depth um, idea of what your customers are into. Because many people say that, for example, they're selling water. Sometimes, your client, I know only water them drink, and not even sometimes, I know it's water alone they're into. They're into a whole, they're into so many other things. And so when you're orchestrating, when you're putting together that marketing campaign, when you understand the mind of the person who is purchasing your product, it's important. And we have to make some clear distinctions between the person who actually purchases. You have influencers, you have consumers, and there are so many persons that are involved in this buying process. And social media brings you closer to them at a very cost effective way. And it also allows you to reach new type of clients. So for example, with our traditional marketing methodologies, you would find that you run a campaign, you put up your billboards, you have some things in the newspaper, in print media, you have different traditional marketing strategies in place. You have sales reps out there, you have promotional items, but it's only limited to that particular space. It doesn't go beyond Jamaica. It's not going over the waters. However, social media does not carry those type of barriers. And so when you're selling products, it helps you to highlight in marketing, and even in marketing, the 4 P's are still crucial. And the P that is referred to as place, which means distribution. E-marketing has allowed that P to be bigger than the others. So now what happens is when you run your campaigns online, you can distribute to persons overseas, persons in America, persons in South America, persons in Africa. Once you have your shipping thing together, so it allows you to reach far and beyond what you would normally reach with traditional marketing methodologies that are way more. You know what you run on TV ad, and you don't even know how much people see it, and you can actually track how many persons view your ad on social media. I know, for
That's true.
example, on Facebook, I have a small business too, known as Diversity. And I can tell you, I used to sell some blenders at one point. And I did
Yes.
some ads and I had 30,000 views, 40,000 views. To date, it is still being viewed.
Whoa.
And I can track it. And you have to spend millions of dollars running ads for your traditional media, and you will not get that your ROI, return on investment. Again, I almost guarantee it, and that's why so many, I tell people when they start in businesses, ensure you look for cost-effective methods to advertise and promote, and methods that carry a wide reach, and e-marketing or social media marketing has that potential and that potency.
Wow, very powerful, Zico. And you did mention there in regards to the coronavirus. Tell me something, Zico. Do you think that the coronavirus was a good thing? Do you think
Oh
that it,
boy.
it, it, it shook up the nation to to
Oh Lord.
understand that, hey,
Let me say
there
this.
is a different way to
It
achieve
has,
things in life.
yes, it has changed the mindset a little bit, and it has forced persons to go online. It has forced persons to become more savvy as it relates to technology and the usage of these things. Of course, Corona is not a good thing because it has the world crumbling right now. Economies are struggling right now. Persons are suffering right now because of this pandemic. However, for a business person, for somebody who is about making money, it's not over and the opportunities are still here. Let me tell you, if you understand the fundamentals, the foundation of how a man starts a business, you should not suffer in Corona. Now, the fundamentals of starting a business is simple. Find a problem and get the solution and sell the solution. That's how you get rich. It's very simple, just like how I tell you. Find a problem,
Whoa.
give the solution, and you make money. That's
Oh my
what it is.
gosh.
So we have coronavirus. So I won't tell you that there's a specific business type that you should adapt, or a certain type of business that you should go into. But of course, you have to look for opportunities in industries. You look at the agricultural sector, you look at what is going on in the hospitality sector, you look what's going on in services, and you find problems that the pandemic has caused. And you see how best you can find a solution, and you sell the solution. You sell the solution. We have a whole heap of problems now. Airbnb in a trouble.
Yeah.
What can we do to fix that? What can a local man do? Some whole heap of people used to come at your house, them now come again. But guess what? Them won't come. When you listen, these people overseas still want to come. But
Yes.
because of the pandemic, they're afraid. How can you still take them in and be safe? Fix the problem, and you
Fix the
will make
problem.
the money.
That
Everybody
is
now
so
going
true.
around wanting heat guns, wanting sanitizers. So make some sanitizer. Get Bureau standard. They approve it and you know, and put a marketing strategy, get it online. You can use Nutsport Express that does distribution for you right across the island and ship things for you. You know, or one of those shipping local shipping companies. You know, Mandiver I think is one up by up Midway Mall. I don't remember it right now. There's a shipping one up there that I use quite frequently, and a close friend
Shipwise,
introduced
shipwise,
me.
shipwise.
Shipwise. You have Shipwise, you know, and I'm saying that there are so many things that can be done. Don't look at it as everybody are got into creating software and persons dealing with that, and you can't really do those technical stuff. So this is not the time for me. I go struggle. You know, you go plant up your yam, plant up your yam and your Irish and your potato, and then start one company online or start an e-business and set up your Facebook and Instagram page. Name Yams are Us. Or
Yes.
something. You know, something hot.
Yums, yums.
Yes, Yams. You understand? Or Trelawney products, if you can use that as
Yes.
one way. You understand? Be creative and allow and send out the product, make people know about it. People will want to find you. The most important thing right now in Corona, as we go back to the foundation of marketing, you know, you have price, you have product, you have place, you have promotion. That is the foundation. If it's a service business, you have price, product, promotion, you have place, you have packaging, you have positioning, and you have people. That is if it's a service business. And I'm saying to you now, go online, find a distribution strategy and get to them. You know, you are doing right now is the time if you're a popular hairdresser and you used to have a lot of clients and you have to close down your place because you don't want people there. You can probably do home visits and the thing sanitized such a way.
Yes.
You just have to think.
Think out of the box.
Yes, the time is called, this current time that we're living in is going to make a lot of strategies. And Jamaica, now more than ever, is asking for persons to just stop, sit down and just say, oh, government should do that and government should do this, and start to think and utilize the opportunities that are coming from the government. And I can show you there are numerous opportunities out there. But what are people doing? Sitting and waiting for handout. And I'm saying to you, use the opportunities, start a business. There are so many problems, create solutions. You know, you have one other thing, Mr. Thomas. You have persons now that, for example, don't want to go on the bus to Kingston. You know, they don't want to go on the bus to Kingston. And them have license. They probably can start a little car rental. Because people
Yes.
think car rentals are down, but there are so many persons that want cars now.
Yeah.
Because them don't want to run those. Or you can start a private taxi service and you drop persons to Kingston on a certain price. You bring them in and bring them back. You do your calculations. You can probably carry 3 in your vehicle if you have a 7-seater, one at the front, one in the middle row, one in the back. Do your calculations and you carry them in. And then when they're ready, you carry them back in the evening, right back at their house. There are so many things that can be done.
So many ways to make
Think.
money.
Yeah, man.
So many ways to make money, Zico. And you know, I think by the way, Zico, we have a winner in the comment section.
Right.
Kevin Wellington. Congratulations, you have won $500
Okay.
in call credit. Now I do not know what phone you have, whether it is Lime or Digicel, but please indicate to me, right, whether it is Lime or Digicel, because you will be getting $500 in call credit, right? Thank you so much for your response. Your answer is indeed correct. You know, let's get back here, Zico. You know,
Yes.
I've seen many individuals, right? You know, they have a business and the business closed down and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and right now, I don't know why so many young persons have so many excuses, right? It's like if I don't know. Why do persons want handouts? You know, people just don't want to put in the work. People just don't
No.
want to think out of the box, right? And if they lose a job, they just sit at home. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the end of the
Yeah.
road. You know,
Yeah.
and it's just a struggle. You
Yeah.
know, it's a struggle for us as young people, and we need to become equipped, right? We need to think out of the box and try to get the ball rolling.
Let me
Uh,
add. Let me just. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, man. Go ahead, Zico. And then I move on to a different question.
Yeah, man. And I want to encourage young people. One of the issues is that we're trying to move too fast. We're trying to move too fast. We start the business today. We want to have an empire tomorrow. It does not work like that. It is a process, and you have to follow the process, move with the process. Things take time, and things are more meaningful when they are achieved over a specific period. And so, I encourage my young people: don't watch what other people are doing. Get your mind together, start a small business, get it online. It is the best time to start a business. Yes, Zico Brown said that. It is the best time
Let's
right
believe.
now to start a business. And young people, you understand the technology.
They
You
do.
understand. I know everybody is
Oh
on
my.
because I see some church elders. I see some bigger people who never know say. Would are interested to come on Facebook and WhatsApp that are getting involved. So everybody is here.
Mm.
Find what they are interested in. Do your market research. Get the necessary information. Segment your market. Put your targeting strategy in place. Position your business and make that money become profitable, become effective and efficient in what you are doing. Know that I'm cheering for you. And the Heart NSTA Trust is here to assist you. Because we have business grants and we have all of those things and things and things. And so we invite persons to come and apply for some of those programs to assist you.
Wow, wow, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're listening, right? Zico, he's definitely inviting the young people, right? If you are struggling, if you need a form of opportunity, right, you could definitely liaise with Zico, right? Zico, where can they find you? They can find you on Instagram. They can find you
Yeah,
on
man.
Facebook,
And Facebook.
right?
Yeah, man, you
Zico
can find me.
Brown.
I'm mostly on Facebook, but my Instagram account is there. You can message. I really go on it, but a friend of mine said to me, "Hey, Zico, you can allow up things saying, man, you need to dip on the Insta and that's the people them dip on the IG."
Yeah,
So
man.
in recent times, I said I'm going to pay some more interest to that. So persons can come follow me, add me. I'll have information. Oh, right now we're having a series known as "It Takes Heart," and you can go on the Heart NSTA trust page and you can view them. We did for every single parish in Jamaica. We just concluded with the last set of parishes this evening. Just finished probably an hour and a half ago. So you can go on the Heart Trust page. You can look. You can listen to the different programs, where the offices are located, the various phone numbers. You can click on the link. There's a link in the comment section. You can click on that. You can register for any of the programs at the trust. You can go to your Google Play Store and you can download the Heart NSTA Trust app, Heart on the Go, where you can register for our programs. Listen, man, I want you to be a part of the training opportunity. Young people, I want you to sit back, relax, and listen keenly to what I'm about to say. This is your time. Let that resonate with you. Don't worry about the bills. Don't worry about the struggle. Don't worry about the issue. Don't worry about the boyfriend. Don't worry about the girlfriend. Don't worry about your mother. Don't worry about your father. Don't worry about your cousin. The whole of them will stress you out. The bad mind neighbor. Yes, the bad mind neighbor them. And the little brother down the road where when I top gear a little argument and you can't take him, you want to move from where you live. Get trained. Get your NVQJ or your CVQ certificate. And the skies is the limit, man.
That's Zico Brown for you, ladies and gentlemen. And it goes to show that, hey, we have no excuse. We have no excuse to make it in life, because there are just so many opportunities for us out there. And as Zico listed, as he mentioned there, so many opportunities, right? And my young people, right? Ensure that you try to take advantage of these. Do not just sit at home and even if you cannot afford to go to university or to do a degree that you so wanted to do, but you can start off doing something that you never even had interest in, but
Yeah,
that can also be a stepping stone for you,
yeah,
right? You can always use different certifications and stuff as stepping stones, right? So do not give up on life. Do not just sit there and allow life and the world to swallow you, right? To get you all swallowed up. Now, Zico, I want to ask you this question though, right? In your
Yeah.
interaction with young university graduates, do you believe that the undergraduate program have adequately prepared these students for the corporate society? Do you think that the undergraduate program adequately prepared these students for the corporate world
Um,
based on your
so to some
interaction?
extent, I have mixed views. I have mixed views. Simply because as it relates to the content, people get the information. And you find that in university, to be honest, a lot of persons are what we call individuals who can regurgitate very well. So they
Wow.
can read the information and they can answer the questions. And then you find that when they move into the corporate world, they're not, some of them don't perform. And it takes another level of training by the businesses, the institutions, the corporate Jamaica to train these persons and get them to certain standards. So it is easy to train them with some like a 2 month, 3 month courses, and you have somebody mentoring them because they have the information. But what university doesn't fully teach is the attitude, and you find that is mostly the few student leaders, the few Rajae Danvers that you have in institutions, these bright spots that are have a change mindset that usually do very well, and the others sometimes come out and they're struggling. They have the information, but the attitude and university, we do. I think the universities do make a great attempt to adjust the attitude, but um, persons just see it as school, like high school and the school. And not until some individuals come into the working world and they see how serious it is when you're working in a probably the private sector and everything is financially driven. Government is not about making a profit, it's about welfare. So you have one and two people who come in a government and sit down and still slack up because government is not about making money. And sometimes they get away with it. It's just the facts. And them feel like them a big performer on this. But really, it's just, So one and two of those persons. And as I tell you, things are changing, things are changing. And so as much as possible, we're trying to eliminate that type of thing or those type of individuals. But in private sector, to me, that is where a real test comes. Because you going at the people, them company, go sit down and waste time on the phone every second and chat with your friend. And
My
just, have,
God.
just not do nothing and come and work when you feel like, do what you feel like, work when your mind tell you. When the month end come, make the people them no make their money. Make
Oh
the
my
people them go reach
gosh.
their target. You see how fast you reach? You could have, listen to me, man. You could have permanent. So till you want a permanent no more. There's a clause in that contract for deal with performance. You understand? And they are going to get you out. And a lot of young persons leave university, and that is where they get the wake up call when they get fired from the first job because they're negligent with their hours and they're negligent with the people them tasks that were assigned to them. And so I think university to some extent, and I think it's the best that it can do, it's doing its best because there has to be a balance in university. So they can't force the attitudinal traits or characteristics that you should develop on you, but they do show us in the right, they do point us in the right direction as it relates to that. But not until many of us see how serious the working world is before we develop those traits. I can tell you one last point on this. Let's share one last thing on this. Most of the persons who do well right after university would have worked at some point in their life before. Very important. So if some of those persons who go up and work and travel, those who came to the Heart NSTA Trust and did our SL Top or our registered apprenticeship program, or came and signed up for job placement and got placed in a job and worked for some time, then university, or some of those who worked at the call centers, they have a good appreciation for what it takes, the necessary characteristics to make it in the working world or working environment.
Zico, and I I do agree with you because I know many individuals, right? Due to not having a work experience, due to not having any work experience, right? They do not even have the right attitude that requires them to perform at the optimum level
Yeah.
in that position. They might have the qualification, right? They might have the qualification, they might have the degree or whatever, but the attitude, it's not there, you know. And
Yeah.
one thing I know about Heart is that you guys specialize in training, right? So there's a practical side to what Heart is doing. Is that correct, Zico? You guys are
Yes,
doing,
man.
you know, there's a practical side, you know. So by the time you are finished with Heart, you are well equipped. You
Yes,
know, you
man.
are well equipped with not just knowledge but experience.
Yes, yes, yes. That's very important when we're putting our training plan together. Practicality is being practical, and persons having that practical experience of the skill is the main aim and focus of the Heart NST as it relates to training. Our training is not theory, is totally, or not even the majority of it is not theory based. It's practical based, and we add some theory to put the context, because persons must be able to articulate and have information about the practical skill that they're doing, whether it is plumbing, whether it's auto mechanics, whether it's electrical. They must have a theory understanding, because the world requires that of you. International standards require that you must read and be able to write down the things that you do with your hands on paper, that somebody can clearly see a step-by-step process of what you just did. So that has to be a part of it. But the majority of the training is focused on a more practical type of experience, giving the learner hands-on experience of that particular skill.
Thank you so much, Zico. One last question, Zico. You know, I'm not
Mhm.
sure what happened to Rajae. He fell off the line. But
Oh,
you know, one last question, Zico. Right? Who are your mentors, and did mentorship play an important role in your success? Do you have any
oh,
mentors?
oh boy, I'm afraid to start calling names in this regard. I have had so many. As I told you, I did not grow with my father died when I was 9, and so throughout my life there have been so many persons who have come in and out. One of probably my more respected mentor died some time ago. A gentleman that probably taught me most of what I know today. Um, but I have some persons I look up to. More importantly, as Rajae would say, God is my biggest mentor. He has been my father from even before my father died. I look up to my mother. And I said there are a couple of persons, but I don't know if I don't want to start calling names. But there are some persons there who have taught. I have a reason why, man. But I've
Yeah,
had
man, I totally understand.
yeah,
You don't need to explain.
who have really brought this young man from nothing
To
and
something.
help me to become something. I'm coming from the rough. I wasn't the bright spark and all of those things. So I won't even pretend I'm an average person who got touched by something extraordinary. And that has brought me to this point.
Thank you so much, Zico. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin, it's Kevin Williams, right? Please DM me on Instagram so I can ensure. DM me on Instagram at DrFXJA so I can actually send across your Lime credit, right? Because you won that that portion of the segment, right? You won, right? So you got the answer correct. Zico Brown attended Manchester High School, and he is currently working with Heart. So you won the $500 in call credit. So congratulations to you. For those persons who are just joining us, you know, we are basically on the verge of wrapping up, right? But I thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Zico, you know, I want to ask you, my
Yeah.
brother, right?
Yeah.
What would be the last thing that you'd want to, you know, say to our viewers?
Uh,
What
um,
do you want to leave with everyone here tonight?
well, I want to tell persons that it is not over for you. And the majority of our youth, we're struggling with finding our identity. we're struggling with just becoming that person that we should be. And some of us are successful and we don't even know it because issues and problems. And even though we made it through university and we have that big job, or we're still worrying that mama never got the opportunity to see it, or daddy wasn't there, to walk you down the aisle when you got married, or you're struggling with that issue, and it's affecting everything. I'm saying it's time for you to let go, you know, let go and set your mind free. Remember that somebody is depending on you. What that testimony that you have, share it with somebody. That's how you're going to reach another young person. I want to leave with you that the opportunities are here. All is not lost for Jamaica, as some persons would want to articulate or allow you to think. There's still hope for you. Jamaica, the government right now has provided so many opportunities. You need to capitalize and be the best person that you can be. It is not over for you. The minute you change your mind, it will be opportunity time.
Wow, very profound, ladies and gentlemen. Very profound.
Yeah.
That's Zeco Brown for you, right? And for those persons who are just joining us, right, I just want to say we are on the verge of wrapping up, right? But Zico, right,
Yeah.
and Rajae, both they have shared such a powerful story with us tonight, and they have definitely inspired us to continue on the verge of success and to apply certain principles, right, that will get us where we want to be in life. And I just want to say thank you so much for all those viewers, right? Thank you so much for the support, right? You guys have been supporting this program continuously every single week, right? And just want to shout out to everyone, right? Thank you so much for the support, right? And I just want to say, for those persons who are just joining us, for those persons who are new to the channel, right, you could just hit that like button, you could just hit that subscribe button, so that as soon as we drop more content, you can be aware, right? Zico, I know
Mhm.
Rajae fell off, but
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much, bro,
Yeah,
for,
bro.
for coming on to
Yeah.
inspire the nation,
Yeah.
right? This is Zico, Ziggy Brown.
That's right.
This is Zico, Ziggy Brown. Big up my brother, and I
Yeah.
hope you enjoy the remainder of your week,
Yeah.
right? And I hope to see you soon, right? And
Yeah.
I hope you
Yeah.
continue on your verge of success, right? And I hope you continue to inspire lives and change lives in
Mm.
your capacity, where you are at heart, NSTA. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Zico Brown.
Yes, man. Big up, bro. Take care.
Big
Good
up
to
my
meet
brother.
you. Mhm.
Awesome. Blessings.